Hello everyone and welcome back once again to the channel and to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. Today we will be taking a look back at the Honeycomb Bravo throttles once again. And I say once again because about 2 months ago I made an unboxing / review of this product. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out after this video. A couple of days ago I got a comment on that video asking me if I could make a tutorial in which I explain how to program all of the levers and buttons on the throttle quadrant. A big shout out to the person that sent me this comment because as some of you might know, I often ask you guys at the end of each video to leave your thoughts down below in the comment section and to give me your ideas for future content. And so it's very nice to see that you guys actually do that. It shows that you guys enjoy my content and are involved with it, which is exactly what I set out to achieve when I made this channel. So of course, whenever I do get a suggestion from you guys for a future video, I'm going to try my very best to make that video a reality. So that's what I'm doing today. If you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, be sure to give a thumbs up and share it with other people who you think could benefit from it as well. Also, don't forget to do a touch and go on that subscribe button with notifications on so you never miss out on any new videos. I make a lot of different types of videos, so whatever you are into when it comes to Flight Simulator, there's definitely a video for you. And if there isn't, then you are more than free to give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, very quickly before we begin, a couple of videos ago I said that I would be making a video about the notorious approach into Saitek Airport. Some of you who were excited for that video might have noticed that my latest content wasn't about that approach, and it might seem that I've forgotten about it or have moved on to other projects, but I am in fact still working on it and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys the beautiful approach into Saitek in the next video, so definitely stay tuned for that. The reason why it's taking me so long to make this video is a combination of vacation, some bugs in the sim, and other more pressing video ideas like today's video. But all of that should be out of the way now. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So guys, here we are then. As you can see on your screen right now, we are parked at my home airport, or not actually home airport, but the main airport of my home country Belgium, which is Brussels Airport. I just recently bought this scenery for Flight Sim and I'm definitely going to be showing the scenery off in some future videos. But yeah, not for today's video. Today we are going to take a look at the Bravo Throttle Quadrant and how to set it up. And for this tutorial I've chosen the default Boeing 747. And the reason why I've chosen this aircraft is actually just because I currently have my own Bravo throttle set up for a 4-engine configuration. So that's why I chose this aircraft, because this aircraft has 4 engines obviously. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the flight deck now. If I can find the right button, there we go. Here we are inside the flight deck. I'm not going to bother with starting this aircraft up or anything. So right now I have all of the button bindings and key bindings for the throttle quadrant set to the default configuration. So this is the configuration that you get straight out of the box when you get this throttle quadrant. So let's see what we have, what we get. So right off the bat, you can see that something's already a bit funky. So right now I have my throttles all set in the idle position without any reverse thrust engaged. So it's kind of already weird that engine number 1 is somehow in the reverse config. And let's see what happens if I increase the thrust to all 4 engines. As you can see there, only one engine is actually increasing, or going forward I should say, and that's engine number 2. All of the other levers are in the exact same position on the throttle quadrant itself. I'm sorry, can't speak today. But for some reason, engines 3 and 4 aren't budging, and neither is engine number 1. So yeah, we definitely need to change some things up in the settings page. So let's do that. So let's press escape, go to control options, and this is where all of the magic happens. So as you can see, Bravo throttle quadrant default config. So what you want to do when you get into a situation like this is basically you want to use this search option here, and we're going to search by input. So let's see what Let's go on with engine number 1, for example. There we go. So already I see the problem here. The lever for engine number 1 is set to throttle 2, the throttle 2 axis, which isn't really correct. So we are going to delete that. Clear current input, validate. Oh yeah, and it automatically makes a new throttle profile. So we are just going to leave it at Bravo Throttle Quadrant Profile 2 like that. That's fine. So right now the joystick L-axis X plus is what it's called, is set to nothing. So that's what we want. Now we are going to do something else here. So basically we want that to be set to the throttle 1 axis because it's the first thrust lever. So we are going to look for throttle and we are going to find the throttle 1 axis, which is right here, and it's already set to something different. So we are going to change that as well. Delete this throttle 1 axis, and we are going to use the scanning option and then do this, and we can validate that. And basically you want to do that for all of the throttles. So we are going to look for throttle axis 2 as well. We are going to scan once again. And here we get a message that this is already used somewhere else. So we will fix that in just a moment. But yeah, the problem with this throttle quadrant when you get it out of the box is basically that there are a lot of conflicts with other key bindings. So one lever, for example, has 4 other functions, or 3 functions, or 2 functions, or whatever, which are in conflict with each other. So you basically just want to clear out those conflicts so that one lever has one function. So that's what we are going to be doing in just a moment. But first I'm going to repeat this same process for engines, the levers for engine number 3 and 4. So stand by. So there we go. Now normally all of the engine axes should be set to for the right levers. So which means lever number 4 controls engine number 4, and all of the other engines control their respective or the respective levers control their engines. So that's what I'm trying to say basically. Sometimes it's a bit hard to explain these things, especially since English is not my native language, so bear with me here. But yeah, basically I've already noticed something else as well in these settings, that throttle 2 decrease is set to joystick button 25. Now if we go take a look here, I can't really find joystick button 25. But yeah, I think this is what you use for reverse thrust. That's a throttle 2 decrease. So we are just going to apply this and save it. Go back to the aircraft for a second. And let's see if we've already fixed some things. Okay, so as you can see right there, it's looking a bit better, but not quite yet. Throttle number 1, or thrust lever number 1, is automatically moving back to the idle position. And also, I'm now increasing engine number 4, but the lever is going back, so which means the axes are actually reversed. That's also something we need to change. So engine number 3, 2, 3, and 4 have to be reversed. So we can, oh boy. So let's go here, deselect this, and also this. And probably also throttle number 1. Can apply that. So yeah, something's up with throttle number 1. So we are just going to see what this does. Let's see here. joystick button 25 is set to the throttle 2 degrees, so that's not what we want. We want button 25 set to the throttle 1 degrees. So let's go ahead and delete this as well. Clear current input. Sometimes it's a little bit funky since the last sim update, so kind of have to mess with the button sometimes because otherwise you can't select anything anymore. So yeah, that's a bit weird, but we'll manage. So back to the throttles, and now we'll start with throttle number 4 here. So throttle 4 decrease, we want to set that to joystick button 28, and it's already used for something else, but that's okay. As you can see, decrease mixture 1, that's also a conflict that we are going to have to fix in just a moment, but we can validate it for now, like so. Throttle 3 decrease has to be set to joystick button 27. Then throttle 2 degrees has to be set to this. I'm basically repeating the process for every thrust lever. So if you're doing this at yourself, it might be a bit handy to try this first with an engine that has only 1 or 2 engines instead of 4 like I'm doing. The reason why I'm doing this with 4 engines is because I already know the process and I know what I'm doing. And so it was a bit illogical to go and change up my whole configuration just for this tutorial. But if you are doing this yourself and you don't really know how this all works, it's best to do this with 2 engines first, so that you kind of get the picture. And then once you have that figured out, you can go to 4-engine aircraft and all of that, so yeah. And then finally, throttle 1 degrees, we want to have that set to joystick button 25. So let's see if that fixed anything for us. Oh, so as you can see, throttle number 1 is no longer in the reverse configuration. And if we take a look, we can see that all of the throttle levers now move as one unit. So that's exactly what we try to achieve. But I have a sneaking suspicion that once we actually turn on the engines, the throttles will still not work properly. And that's because of the other conflicts that we saw earlier with the mixture and the prop. So I'm going to search by input once again, and let's just take the engine number 1 lever. So that's only set to the throttle axis, so that's good. We can deselect that. Let's check for engine number 2. Here we go. So here's a conflict. The engine number 2 lever is set to both the throttle axis and the propeller 1 axis, so that's not what we want. We want to clear these conflicts because we are flying a Boeing 747, and as you all know, it doesn't have a propeller lever, so there's no reason why that should be a thing in this aircraft, so that's why we are deleting that. So we are going to repeat this for the number 3 engine then. It's also set to the propeller 2 axis, like so. Lastly, for the engine number 4 lever, that's set to the mixture 1 axis, so we also want to delete that. So normally, if we look up mixture, nothing should be... Okay, so here's another conflict that we somehow missed, so that's also something we want to delete. And what I was going to say now, if we look at... Oh yeah, that's also something... Oh my god. Yeah, let's just wait until I've deleted everything before I start explaining what I'm doing here. So, okay, there we go. Now that I've deleted all of those, none of our throttle levers are set or bind to any sort of mixture setting. So normally that shouldn't cause any problems. Now let's check for the propellers as well. basically we don't want to see anything here if you're not flying a aircraft with a propeller or a mixture switch. As you can see, this is all clear, so we can apply this and save this. And now, normally if I start up the engines now, we should be able to increase the thrust without any issues, and it should work normally. So yeah, just give me a moment guys, and I'm going to turn on the engines now, and we will see if our work actually paid off. So there we go guys, as you can see we now have 4 running engines. I've started them all up. So right now we can do our final test to see if all of the work that we just put in to the settings page has actually paid off. So here we go. Let's increase the thrust to all 4 engines simultaneously. And there we go guys, as you can see on the engine displays, all engines are working just fine. They are all moving simultaneously and nothing weird is happening to the throttles. Now let's check if reverse thrust also works. As you can see, it does. And again, all 4 engines are moving at the same time. No problems whatsoever. So there we go. That's how you set up your throttles with the Honeycomb Throttle Quadrant. And as for the rest of the switches, so obviously the Throttle Quadrant has a bunch more switches and knobs that you can all set up. That's basically down to your own preference, so I'm not going to show you guys this in this current tutorial. That's something you have to figure out for yourself. So you can do a lot of things with this throttle quadrant, so that's why I'm not going to show you guys this. But basically the process is the same as with the throttle, so if you really understand what I just did with the throttles and you can do it yourself, you shouldn't have any problems with setting up things like the spoiler lever or the flap switch or the landing gear or whatever you want to do with the throttle quadrant. So yeah, that's basically everything for this video. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I really hope it was helpful for you guys. If it was, then be sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel as well for more content. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below for future video suggestions or questions. I hope this video has kind of proven that I do listen to you guys and try my best to make your video request a reality. And I hope you will be even more motivated now to give me your thoughts and ideas. I'm also very open to suggestions to make the quality of my content better, so you guys can enjoy it even more. So be sure to comment whatever comes to mind. If you would like to see more from me without having to wait for a new upload, because I do tend to take a while with that, you can always go watch some of my other videos and follow me on Instagram. My current goal is to reach 2,000 followers and we are currently at 1,500. So we are slowly but surely getting there. For now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.